What's up, beautiful people? It's your girl Tanisha coming to you again. How are you today? Good. I'm glad. I really, really am. I just wanted to jump on here. It's Saturday afternoon, probably about 3 o'clock. So I was like, well, let me jump on here and talk to my peoples. Let me talk to my peoples. So, you know what? I'm a woman. I have several women clients, several single women clients. And on Facebook, women just want to be married. I get it. Marriage is wonderful. When it's a good marriage, it's wonderful. Ask anybody who's in a good marriage, they're going to tell you it's wonderful. And I was in a marriage at one point in time, and it was wonderful at one point. But it went left a little bit. But my whole point of getting on here today is to tell you some reasons why you think you're ready to get married, but you're not really ready. You're not really ready to be in a marriage that's going to last an extensive period of time. All right? So let's jump this thing off. And I'm primarily talking to the women. But men, if you're listening and you feel like anything's applicable, go ahead and, like, subscribe, share, whatever you want to do. All right. So ladies, tell me how you're ready to get married and you can't cook. I'll wait. You can't even cook a decent meal for your family or for your husband, but you want to be married. It's only so much takeout. It's only so many order-in places. Uber Eats, that gets boring after a while. A man probably feels like, can you go in the kitchen and make me a meal? If I want some fried chicken or if I want a salad, can you go in there and at least throw a salad together? So that's number one. If you can't cook, then I'm questioning, and I'm not saying all of these, you got to have every box checked. That's not what I'm saying. But these are some primary things. Having a family and under a roof, cooking, those are some kind of like basics because your child's going to get up. Your child got to go to school, whether you're cooking breakfast for him, your husband's going to work, whether you're cooking breakfast for him. I mean, come on. Number two, cleaning. I don't care what he says. A man does not like to live in a nasty house. Okay? So whether you're doing it or whether you have an extra $45, $50 a month to go buy a housekeeper or somebody to come in and clean the house, make sure your house is clean. Like, no one likes to be stepping over clothes. Nobody likes to be, bathroom dirty and nasty, hair everywhere. Nobody really likes that. People tolerate that. But nobody likes that. I guarantee that if you have a nasty house, your man would be more excited about coming home if the house was clean. Okay? So those are some practical steps. But let's get into the meat of this, all right? Because there's some underlying undertones for people on why they get married, okay? If you're getting married for some extra, and I'm throwing it up, some extra reason, then you need to consider, why am I doing this? So many people get married for reasons like money. Ladies, y'all sometimes want a man to come save y'all. Y'all want him to be your savior. You want him to come in with a cape and those tight boxers and just come in and save you. And if that's the reason why you want to marry a man as a financial plan, then you're setting yourself up for failure. Because at the end of the day, a lot of things can happen. Men can lose jobs. You can lose a job. Finances are just, that's why they call it currency, because it flows, and then it may flow that way and it may flow that way. So money, if you're getting married for money, you might want to rethink that. A lot of women, they want a man who has money. I mean, that's neither here nor there. We want somebody who has money so we can feel more secure financially. I get that. But if that's your primary reason for marrying a man, then you need to reevaluate, why am I marrying him only for his money? Okay? A lot of people get married because of sex. I'm going to be honest with you. Some people get married because the sex is just that good. Because the sex was bomb, because he introduced you into all these new different techniques, because he put it in places that you didn't know it could be put in, because he showed you some things. So now you want to get married to this gentleman because his sexual ability was so good. I'm going to tell you like this. Men get older. Women get older. Our bodies change. So you can't base a marriage on sexual ability. I know sex is powerful. Sex is a powerful thing. It'll have people in relationships for years on end because the sex was good. But marrying someone and being committed to that person, you gotta have more than just sex. You gotta have more than just sex, because sex is a 1 hour act. You know, if you got your good man, it's a 1.5, 2. I mean, I'm just saying, it's an act that lasts for a small period of time, but then you got to get up, and then real life begins. So think about that. Are you only marrying him because your biological clock is ticking? You're 39, you want to have a baby, life has not presented you with that option. You start dating a guy, you're pressuring him into getting married because you feel like your biological clock is ticking. Eventually, you will not begin, producing eggs or be fertile or able to have a child. So you're just pressuring this man into marrying you. You have to evaluate, okay, well, what if he does marry you and he doesn't love you, but he only did it because he felt sorry for you or because he felt guilty or for all these other extra reasons? Well, when you have the baby, do you really think that his opinion or his thought process is going to change? Oftentimes it doesn't. Oftentimes it doesn't change the man into saying, you know what, I definitely want to be married now because I have a baby. No, that's why a lot of women who use a baby to catch a man up find out on the back end that it didn't work. So don't let your biological clock ticking be the reason why you're trying to pressure an individual into getting married. Okay? All right. Again, some people try to do it out of guilt, fear, or trying to please other people. We're in the social media age. Everybody want to do it for the gram. They want to do this for the gram. They want to get married for the gram. They want to work here for the gram. They want this car for the gram. They want this for the gram. They want to do it for the gram. But I tell you, marriage is not something that you want to do just for the gram. Just because your sorority sisters, just because the women at church, just because the women on your job all getting married, that doesn't mean it's your time to get married. You understand? So don't pressure a situation because you feel like I'm trying to please people, or I'm trying to put on this facade, or I'm trying to show people, hey, I can get a man too. Let's be honest, ladies. It takes nothing to get a man. As long as you got the equipment, it takes nothing to get a man, okay? But what you want is a quality man. What you want is a quality relationship. What you want is a quality commitment, a long-lasting commitment, right? So your ways and means for measuring the relationship need to be quality as well. I'm a firm believer of how you go in a thing is how you come out of that thing. So if you go into that thing with all these other preconceived notions and all these undertones that are basically deception, like I'm committing my life to you because I think you'll have money. I'm committing my life to you because I think your sex will be great for the rest of our lives. I'm committing my life to you because my biological clock is ticking and I want to have children. I'm committing my life to you because I feel guilty or I want to put on for Instagram or my friends or my family. All those reasons are not good reasons. And those reasons will end you up in divorce court or on TV, divorce court, wherever you want to, convene your divorce. It'll end you up there. Okay, so if your reasonings for being married are these, you're not ready. You're not ready. You're not ready. The next one, you love the potential of him. Ladies, we have a problem with falling in love with the man that we want instead of the man that we have. Catch that. We fall in love with the man that we want, not the man that we have. We expect that once he falls in love with us and we get married, that a lot of the things about him are going to change. And you are wrong. You as wrong as two left shoes. Because typically what a man is when you find him and what he grows into, that's who he is. So if he has all these habits that you don't like, marrying him is not going to shut down all of those habits. If he was a player, flirting with everybody in all kinds of women's face, Do you really think that's going to change when he slides a ring on his finger? If he doesn't want kids, do you think by marrying him that's going to change his mind? Thinking we can change people, that's the problem right there. The last person I knew who could change people was Jesus, and he did what he could, and he's doing what he can. We're not Jesus, and we're not God, so we can't make a man do anything. You can't make a man do anything. He may compromise and go along with some things for a little while, but eventually, who he is comes out. It comes out. And if it comes out in a form that you didn't necessarily expect, well, stop pressuring people to be what you want their potential to be, instead of just accepting them where they are. So a lot of times, sometimes us women, we need to just back up and let a man grow up before we say, okay, we're ready to marry him. If you know he's out in the street doing this with that one, and this one, and this and that one, marrying him is not going to change that. No, it may change it for the honeymoon night. He's with you, but as he gets comfortable in the marriage, he'll revert back to that which is in him. Do you understand? So you got to get a man who's practicing being a husband before he becomes a husband. Just like as women, you need to practice being a wife before you become a wife. And what I mean by practice is your mindset has to shift. The way you move and maneuver and operate has to shift. I'm going to drop that right there. All right. Another thing to know that you're not ready for marriage. If an open marriage, and this kind of segues into this, if an open marriage is your thing, like you really should, like as a single person, you wanted to be in the clubs swinging and with this guy, that guy, this guy, that guy, and you want to bring that into a marriage, then you should just stay single. You understand? You should just stay single. Don't sign the paper. Don't get the ring. Don't put his last name as your last name. Don't tie up all these legal obligations. Just do you and enjoy doing you until you don't want to do you anymore and you want to do us or we or Mr. and Mrs. Okay? So if an open marriage is on the table for you, you're not ready to get married. Marriage is a commitment between, well, not by the traditional definition of marriage. Marriage is a man and a woman coming together forever, okay? Which leads me to another thing. If divorce is an option for you, then you have to think, am I ready to get married? When you go into a marriage, you should go into a marriage saying, you know what? Divorce is not an option. We're going to work it out. We're going to take care of it. Whatever it is, we're going to handle it. And we're not going to be looking for a way out. Don't go into a marriage looking for a way out. Like that, I mean, I don't know. That doesn't make sense to me. You go into a marriage looking for a way out. Okay. Anyway, ladies, if you have the thought that this man who I'm with is better than nothing at all, or marrying him is better than starting over, so basically you're settling. You're just saying, you know what? I give up. I give up trying. I give up waiting. If you're saying these things, what you're saying is, one, you don't believe there's nothing out there that can come across your path in any given day, on any given day, and be the man that you want. So you'll take what you have now and just say, you know what? I throw in the towel. You know, even though you know in your heart of hearts, this is not who you really want to marry. This is not who you really want to be with. But you're with them because, you know, why not? You got to think about that. You deserve better, because marriage is a lifetime commitment. So for me to just say, you know what? That's just like if I go shopping and I say, you know what? I'm going to buy me a pair of pants and I need these pants to last. These are going to be my favorite pair of pants from here on in. I'm not going to go buy some pants from Rainbow, which are probably going to bust at the seams and get too loose and fade. I'm going to go over to, you know, Nordstrom's, Saks Fifth Avenue. I'm going to go somewhere where I can get some pants that are going to last me. The quality is high. I like them. I want to wear them, and it's an easy transition for me to wear them. Do you understand? Don't go into a marriage with an uneasy feeling or an uneasy thought of, well, this is just who I have now, so this is what I have to go along with. Not so. That's called settling. All right? So another thing, if you are an insecure woman, and now there's two sides of this. You could be insecure because that's just who you are. You're an insecure individual because of whatever has happened to you in past relationships. You've been cheated on. You don't have trust. If that's who you are, then you need to work on that before you get married. Because if you get married and you bring all these insecurities into the marriage, that's going to be the fuel for a lot of arguments and contention and a lot of issues that don't have to be. All right? So now if you're in a relationship where you are insecure, but it's because of something that the person who you're in a relationship with did, you know, he did do some things that have me feeling insecure, or he has done some things that have me not trusting him. Well, you have to make up in your mind, are you going to continue to hold on to it, or are you going to let it go? You got to make a conscious decision. He did it. Are you going to hold on to it, or are you going to let it go? Because what you choose to do is going to determine the trajectory of your relationship. If you choose to hold on to it and get into a relationship, like I said, then he's going to constantly be probably beat up by the, upside the head by this insecurity that he created himself in you. If you let it go and allow him the opportunity to regain your trust, then there you go. Now, in that, there is a risk also to allow somebody to regain your trust. But at the same time, if he regains your trust, and then you all can go on. Because let's be honest, nobody's perfect. We understand that nobody's perfect. But I don't think you should leave yourself open to be abused either. So if he's cheated on you 4 times now and keeps coming back and saying, you know what, I'm sorry, I'll do better next time. I mean, at what point in time do you need to just say, I'm walking away? When your HIV test is positive? When he has a baby with another female? Or, I mean, at what point do you walk away? Do you understand? All right. So if you're the kind of woman who's checking telephones, checking his Instagram, checking his emails, lurking on Facebook, following up behind him, then you need to really maybe just like back up as far as marriage goes and find out what it is that's going on between you and him that has you acting in such a manner. Because why do you feel like you have to run up behind this man and find out everything he's doing? Do you not trust him? Because trust is a vital part of a relationship. Okay? All right. Find out what his love language is. There's 5 love languages. There's the gifts, acts of service, affirmation, physical touch, and then quality time. So there's 5 love languages. So you need to find out what the love language is of the individual who you like or are seeking to get married to. Because you want to make sure that as you go throughout this marriage, that you're doing things to show him or her your appreciation. Okay? So if if gifts is his love language, he likes gifts. He likes new shoes. He likes new cologne. Then okay, that's how you show love to him. But if his gift, his love language is physical touch, he may like shoulder rubs and arm rubs and hugs. It just depends on your particular mate. So you need to search and find out what his particular love language is. All right. Last but not least, when you know you're not ready to get married, you have unresolved emotional attachments to someone else. If you're in a relationship, but you still think about being emotionally involved with another man or woman, then you're not really ready to be married. You're not really ready to be married because, when it's time for marriage, you really should be at the point to where this is a person who's for me and there's nothing else for it. There's nothing else, no one else out there for me. Your emotional attachments to other individuals should be minimal to none. I shouldn't be wanting to get married to you, but at the same time, I'm hoping that my ex-husband comes back and wants to reconcile. I shouldn't be trying to get married to you, but at the same time, I kind of like this guy who I dated about a couple months ago, and I can't get him out of my mind. Do you understand what I'm saying? So there are some things that you need to really do some self-evaluation, some self-checks about why or how I'm emotionally attached to other individuals, but yet I say I want to marry him. Okay? So, you're more than welcome to add to this list, but I just see so many women saying that they're ready to get married, and I don't know what kind of counseling they're getting, and I don't know where they're getting their counseling from, and I just don't know. I just don't know. Because I know you. I know him, and I'm just like, okay. I listen. When my opinion is asked, I give my opinion, but, here in my forum on Facebook, I can give my opinion as much as I want to, So anyway, those are 10 reasons why if you may not be ready. You may not be ready. You can pray as long as you want to. You can fast as long as you want to. But there are some practical steps that you need to take in order to be ready for marriage. And these are in the Bible. If you read the Bible, you'll find them. Your heart should not be knitted to another individual when you're calling yourself being married to your husband or your wife. You shouldn't be engaging in other physical activities with other individuals. A woman should be a homemaker and able to take care of her home. And if you're not able to do it, at least have the money to pay somebody else to do it. And another thing also, if he doesn't like your children, and I'm talking to the single mothers, if he doesn't like your children, then he doesn't like you. You know how you can tell if a man is genuinely interested in your child? Why are you going to marry a man who doesn't like your children, who can't treat your child the way he would treat his own child? You have to take that into consideration. Sometimes men just tolerate the children because they're attached to the mother. Well, at the end of the day, I need you to do more than just tolerate my child. I need you to love him as if he was yours. That's just simple. That's math right there. 2 + 2. But anyway, so I hope this has helped someone. This is your girl, Tanisha, signing off, getting ready to go take care of some other things, and giving you a big old hug from afar. Till next time. Bye.